Slow motions in the darkness, shadows on the wall. Light shines on the heaven, light shines on the moon. Freedom in the heart and fire. Oh, standing by the doorway. This night is getting warm. The wind blows by the window as the music's getting low. It sure really doesn't mind. It's a love to find, love to find, girl, love to find. So tortured in my back, love ain't got no lies. Companion in my heart, it's a love of sacrifice. Ain't got nowhere to go. But things she left around me, the lights I'll never see. Her look there in the dark, the fault I'll never feel. Baby, don't you realize I can't remember. Love was a blunder. I can't remember when you were the thunder. I can't remember when you were all I knew. Love was so tender. I can't remember when you were the thunder. I can't remember when you were the blunder. I can't remember when you were all I knew. Love was so tender. Love was so tender.
Now it's good to see your face and hear your voice again. Somebody told me you've been away, without the life again. Yeah, the thing just getting tougher, no more threat to fall. Everybody, we just starting crawling to this life. It's all we own. Now I hope you find the key to know the heart of this world. From the sky to the ground, to know the light in this dark world. From the sky to the ground. So you get your makeup on, ready to go out. They told me you've been away, but I don't know. So I hope you find a key. sky to the ground, babe.
Get up, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. Oh. Get up, get up, get up, get up, get up.
Mamma mia, mamma mia. Ragazzi,
Hey,
ragazzi,
hey,
ragazzi, how much I
welcome
missed you. How
back.
much I missed you, my darlings. Hello. Did you miss me?
We miss you a lot.
Hello, hello. Oh, hello, everybody.
Hello, hello.
Is our chat working? Come on.
Yes, our chat is working. Yes.
I didn't see anything yet. I didn't see hello from different countries of this world. I only see the message from Sebastiano.
Yes, me too. Yeah, I don't know why.
So let's check because the chat is very important. Please send us something. Send us something that we. Yes,
Austria, Serbia, or Hungary, Estonia, Romania, France, Uzbekistan, Germany, Poland, Italy. Oh my God, it's too much.
We want something, let's say, more exotic.
Palestine. Hello from Palestine.
Argentina, Armenia. Yeah, Palestine. Yes. So, yeah, hello, everybody. Hello. I mean, before we start, should we launch immediately the question of the week, JP?
Yes, please. Sebastiano. Yes, Sebastiano. Hello also to you. Well, actually, I see Sebastiano almost every day. Yes. So, did you miss us? Yes, no, sometimes. Yeah.
Times.
Yes, yeah, sometimes, yeah, there is no.
2%.
I love these two guys who said no.
They are not 2, they are 2%. They are more than 2.
More than two. So, ragazzi, how life is going? Good.
Nisa, how are you?
Yeah, fine. I miss you so much. JP, Emilios, and Konstantinos, and Sebastian, and all our friends from all over the world.
Unfortunately, Costantino is not with us today for personal reasons, but he will be with us for the next episode. By the way, Emilio, we have a couple of new things that we are launching this season, right?
Yes, a couple of new things, but they will come with the flow of the episode. The main things are always the same. I mean, we're here every Sunday at 7 o'clock live in Zoom. Of course, everything is recorded and uploaded in our YouTube channel, which, by the way, now has a huge number of registered people. You can watch the episodes anytime you like during the season. And the main players of the game are the same. So the 5 of us. Occasionally there might be some surprise guests, but the main team remains the same.
Yes. And we have also a new thing, which is the rule of the week.
Yes. Yes.
I like it so much.
Yeah.
What's that?
So before this, let me just say one thing about also our sponsors who are once again supporting this effort. And of course, you will see their logos during the episode. They are very important, as you can understand, so that we can make sure that this project flows and flows well. So the rule of the week, come on. I mean, since this is the Dermoscopy Happy Hour is not only about dermoscopy, but also about philosophy.
Exactly.
Yes.
Philosophy of life. So
Also.
yeah.
Also. Yeah. The idea, we will see how it's gonna work. I'm not so sure, but the idea is that we will create during the episodes new rules that then will remain, and then we will disseminate them everywhere. So
Exactly.
of course the rule reasonably should be related to the topic that we discussed. Let me give you an example. Once when we were in a course with Jeppy and we were speaking about blue nevi, it came as an idea at that moment, the quote, a lesion looking like a blue nevus is a blue nevus. Yeah. And
Exactly.
this remains, I mean, forever, and we repeat it many times because we find it nice. So the idea is that during the episode, we will try to establish a new quote, a new rule that will be voted. If we have more than one suggestions, will be voted via the Kahoot in the end of the session. We will see how it's going to work, but it sounds interesting. What do you think?
And of course, we are open to your suggestions. So if you have a nice quote coming from the episode, please write it in the chat, because we, of course, are very open to this. Yeah.
And
Good.
of course, you will the one that will propose the quote will also keep the, let's say, the ownership. The
ownership. Yeah.
This was a quote.
Yeah. So like Willie Smith, and that's the quote. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. What else have we? Sebastiano.
Sebi is telling us that we have to move on.
Yes. Always the same stuff. I mean, Seb is here reminding us that we have to stop saying stupid things and move on with the episode. Thank you, Sebastiano.
Okay, the paper of the week is in charge of Emilio. Emilio, what is the paper of the week?
The first question is not which is the paper of the week. The first question is from which journal is the paper of the week?
Which journal? I cannot imagine.
You know, instead of sharing my screen, I will share with you my shirt.
Look at this. Beautiful. DPC, Dermatology Practical and Conceptual, the only journal where nobody's paying. So, no, well, the IDS is paying, but the readers are free to read our papers, and the authors are free to publish their papers in the journal.
Yeah, but in my view, Jeppy, I mean, you should stop promoting, highlighting that we don't pay. I mean, this is not so nice. You should start saying the best journal.
Yes. The best journal ever, of course.
These objective things, you know.
Yeah, and also the title is nice because dermatology, practical and conceptual, is something also related to our philosophy of life. We have to be practical, but also we have to be conceptual, philosophic in some way, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, we like both.
Yeah.
By the way, these are our sponsors that you can see here. We thank them very much. And you will see them several times during the episode. Now, the topic of the paper, and therefore the topic of the episode and the discussion that we will do tonight, comes from a new idea that Jeppy had concerning DPC, dermatology practical and conceptual. So he decided, these are our nice logos. Maybe one of them needs a refreshment, but we will see. Yeah, we will see. Until the end of the season, probably we will have some updates. So the new thing that Jeppy decided to do, to introduce in each DPC issue, is the so-called Kramer versus Kramer section, which comes, of course, from the very well-known book and movie, this very nice movie with Dustin Hoffman and Meryl Streep, who were fighting like crazy in that old movie. So the idea was that we will approach a topic from two different perspectives, not really fighting, but let's say highlighting different points of view, aiming, of course, to generate a discussion on this topic and improve our knowledge and highlight the gray points, because in many topics there are still gray points and points of disagreement. So the first idea that Jeppy had was that the Kramer versus Kramer will be rolled by me and Peter on the topic of over-diagnosis of melanoma. So the paper for today is, in fact, there are two papers written by Peter together with Brigitte and by me together with Christian. Of course, Jeppy, we have to admit that this first effort was not very successful, in the sense that we did not disagree too much.
Yes, let's say it was a very soft Kramer versus Kramer, not too many fights, right?
almost zero fights, and of course this is not strange among colleagues that share more or less the same way of thinking as we do. So anyhow, we will approach the topic of overdiagnosis, going through these two papers tonight, and of course there are a lot of things to discuss. So I start trying to answering 5 questions that were addressed more or less in these two papers. The first is very easy and fast to answer, is the definition of overdiagnosis. Here there is no disagreement at all among the two authors, let's say, on the definition. We both agree that overdiagnosis is the diagnosis of a condition that will never cause symptoms or death. Since we speak about cancers, it's the diagnosis of a cancer, of a tumor that will not progress or slowly progress, and it will not influence patients' health more or less. So no symptoms and no morbidity. This is clear that this is the definition of overdiagnosis. So the only point here, the only note, is that it's not a synonym to wrong diagnosis. It's not a mistaken diagnosis. It's not an erroneous diagnosis. It's just the diagnosis of a cancer which would not have the potential to cause problems. The second question, which is a little bit more relevant, is if this story about overdiagnosis is valid also for melanoma. And here, Jeppy, I want to show you something that probably you do not remember, because I myself did not remember it, and I discovered it while preparing this paper. So this discussion started when this paper was published, correct? In the New England Journal of Medicine, about overdiagnosis of melanoma. This was a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, something like this.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, do you know who was the first person who wrote something about overdiagnosis of melanoma?
No.
The problem is that also I didn't know, but it was me.
It was you. Really?
I will show you together with Iris. I will show you. So you remember that paper that was 2009?
Yes.
This was the first discussion about overdiagnosis in cancer, not in melanoma. And in this paper, they did not use melanoma as an example. In this paper, they used prostate cancer as an example. In fact, they used the data from two studies in which they did autopsies, so in people that died from other causes. They found in the autopsy that they had also prostate cancer, many of them. But of course, this prostate cancer was not affecting, they didn't know it. So it did not affect at all their life. So these are the data they used in that paper. And if you remember, there was this F1000 post-publication review. We were commenting back then on published papers, and we were saying our opinion about these papers. So me together with Iris in 2010, we decided, you see the date, we decided to comment on this paper about overdiagnosis. And we said in our comment that, of course, very nice concept and so on. And then we added that one example suggestive of overdiagnosis is melanoma. And we explained why, that many melanomas are slow growing and many of them have a low malignant potential. And we have new diagnostic tools that we diagnose melanoma early. So, I mean, this is suggestive that overdiagnosis exists not only for prostate cancer, but also for melanoma. And this is the schematic that you know very well. They used back then in that paper in 2010, showing something very simple, that we have cancers that grow fast, they cause symptoms and they cause death. We have cancers that grow slower but cause symptoms, metastasize, and cause death. And there are some other cancers that grow very slowly. They don't have the time to cause symptoms or death. And these are the so-called overdiagnosed cancers. So could we adjust this to melanoma? In my view, yes.
Yes.
Can think of a melanoma that grows very, very, very fast and metastasizes and kills very quickly? Yes, we can, of course. Nodular melanoma, of course, of course. Can we think of a melanoma that grows not so fast, but grows, metastasizes eventually, and people die from this? Of course, we can. The classic superficial spreading melanoma. And can we also think of melanomas that grow very slowly and sometimes, not sometimes, many times they don't invade the dermis, they don't metastasize? Of course, yes, is the answer. Again, let's say lentiginous growth melanomas in general are slow growing, and lentigo maligna, of course, is the best example. So it's true that it fits with melanoma. Of course, this is just a theoretical game. I mean, there is no evidence here. It's just opinions based on our experience. But later on, there was also some evidence supporting that overdiagnosis of melanoma exists. So going back to our two papers, both of them agree without doubts that overdiagnosis of melanoma exists. You see here, all these conditions are met in the case of melanoma and explain to some extent the tremendous increase in incidence. And also Peter comments that the most credible evidence is the fact that we have a very increasing incidence of melanoma with no corresponding increase in mortality. And of course, again, the comment that we know that many melanomas grow slowly. The best example is, of course, lentigo maligna is an ideal paradigm of overdiagnosis. We know that the probability of lentigo maligna to invade the dermis is low. So therefore, it's a good example of overdiagnosis. And here a graphic showing that that the mortality of melanoma remains stable, while it should not remain stable. It should either increase since incidence increases or decrease if screening and early diagnosis was in fact effective. So, but none of the two happens. The mortality remains stable. And this is, of course, an argument for overdiagnosis. Number three point, which is discussed in the paper, is very important in my view, not the most important, but very important. What are the causes of overdiagnosis? Again, here there is an agreement more or less. So you see here, Peter suggests that better detection is one of the reasons. So dermoscopy and all this stuff and the new technology behind. Second reason is the diagnostic drift of pathologists who today diagnose much easier melanoma as compared to the past. Third is the increased public awareness, the several campaigns for melanoma that create the need to the people to seek for medical help, increased biopsy rates, improved medical record keeping. So in fact, all the good things we do in our job are a cause, in fact, of overdiagnosis. And here, Peter uses this very nice schematic that was used also in the New England Journal of Medicine paper. So this is a vicious circle. So the one reinforces the other. So people increased awareness has a result that people go to doctors. Doctors are more prone to excise lesions where they are slightly atypical. Pathologists are more prone to diagnose them as melanoma. And then the feedback increases more the awareness because we have many melanoma survivors, many people that think that their life was saved because they went to the doctor, and then this circle is never ending. And in the other paper that we wrote, more or less the same stuff as an explanation of the problem. So increased screening, increased public awareness, diagnostic tools that allow us to diagnose melanoma better and easier, and shift in the histopathologic diagnosis. So these are the causes of the phenomenon. Again, here there is practically no disagreement in the two papers. Number 4, which in my view now becomes practical, not only conceptual, but practical, the discussion, because for the moment, it's almost exclusively conceptual. When it comes to practice, we have to answer which is the problem. So which is the consequence of overdiagnosis? And the first of the candidate quotes, maybe for the day, from my proposal at least, is this one. So yes, it exists. So what? Why do I say so? As the paper, as is written in the paper. So, which are the problems of overdiagnosis? First problem, it creates an epidemiologic artifact. So we think that melanoma is increasing that much, while probably it's not increasing that much. So it's an epidemiologic mistake. Second, it might have an impact on health and insurance sources. Of course, this depends on the insurance policy of each country, but theoretically we can understand that it could have an impact. I mean, when a person is diagnosed with cancer, this could definitely have an impact from a financial point of view on the health system and also in the insurance company. Third, possibly unneeded emotional stress when a patient is diagnosed with melanoma. Probably this induces also some stress to the patient, which is unneeded. So, do you agree that these are potential?
Yeah.
So, but the crucial question, in my view, is this enough to make us change our practice? Do we cause any harm, any real harm, to the patient who is overdiagnosed with melanoma? So I don't think so, because the vast majority of these overdiagnosed melanomas are small, usually intraepidermal lesions that are cured in which way? We just excise them. We put our stitches, and that's the end of the story, which translates into a small scar and almost zero morbidity. And then what else do? We tell them, okay, come back. And then they benefit also from the possibility of early diagnosis of an additional cancer that they might develop, which might be melanoma or might be basal cell carcinoma. So when it comes to a personal, individual basis, I don't see any harm to this patient. Probably the opposite. Yeah, probably the opposite. Another point, which is the second proposal for the quote of the day, is if the real problem is overdiagnosis or overtreatment. What, and this is also explained in the paper. So, using again the paradigm of lentigo maligna, so we all agree that it's a slow-growing tumor, but we also agree that it's a tumor that requires often quite surgery. Why? Because it grows peripherally beyond clinically visible margins. We know it. And for this reason, the guidelines suggest that we should treat it with 1 centimeter margins, imagine on the face, 1 centimeter margins, or with multiple stages of surgery with real-time control of the total margin, so slow MOS or something similar. And as we comment here, all this for a tumor which has a very low chance to invade the dermis, even if left untreated. So to our understanding, the real problem is not the early diagnosis of lentigo maligna. The real problem is the overreaction, the overtreatment that we do afterwards. Early diagnosis is not a problem itself. Last point, solutions proposed in the two papers. How can we address the problem of overdiagnosis? First, Peter emphasizes a lot on the use of the new technology of imaging, including, of course, digital dermoscopy and total body photography, but especially the new generation of total body photography, which is very fast and very high quality, and also with 3D imaging available, and with the addition of AI. So Peter suggests that all these tools, if used in a wide population, then they could change the way of doing, and we clinicians can be more prone to adopt a watchful waiting. So it means that when you are not so sure, when you have a lesion which might be an in situ melanoma, then you might opt not to excise it today, but to monitor and therefore avoid some of these unnecessary excisions. In addition to this, he suggests that AI applied to pathology images, not to clinical and dermatoscopic images, could also help in addressing the problem. And in the second paper, again, a similar suggestion. So again, the use of total body photography and with an emphasis here on the very rapid way of doing of the new total body photography devices, because this is a real game changer. If you need 2 or 3 or 4 minutes for the total body imaging, then you can apply it, you can offer it to many more people, and therefore it can be a real game changer. One comment was about relabeling. So this is about histopathologists, basically. There was a suggestion that we should change the name. So don't call it anymore melanoma in situ, but call it melanoma, I don't know, with a different term, which might be, I don't know, atypical melanocytic proliferation or whatever else. Here, the paper says that this would be, in fact, somehow correct the error of false increase in diagnosis. And also, it could be acceptable because the lesions would be anyhow excised. So it would not induce any significant harm if you just change the name of the histopathologic diagnosis. In contrast, the recommendation, of course, not to excise at all tumors that are smaller than 6 or 5 or 7 or whatever millimeters. This is highly problematic in terms of medical ethics, because today we know very well that a melanoma smaller than 6 millimeters may already be invasive. And the final comment, I would like to read it with you. That was also the conclusion of the paper, is the following. diagnostic and therapeutic medical care is not applied at a population basis, but at an individual basis. So every time we have a single person in front of us and not the entire population. Therefore, all this discussion that we are doing has little value when it comes to medical decision making for an individual patient. I mean, that when you see this tumor tomorrow, although you know that very probably it's a lentiginous, very slow growing melanoma that will never kill this patient, although you know it, I think that no clinician would ever take the risk not to excise a suspicious lesion just because of the epidemiologic problem of overdiagnosis. And also no patient would like to keep this melanoma on his skin just because of the epidemiologic problem of overdiagnosis, until at least if one day science and technology will be able to predict the biology of every single tumor, then probably yes. But until then, I don't think that this will affect the clinical decision making, which is made on an individual basis. Whew, that was it.
Hey, so beautiful, beautiful job. And we have already a couple of quotes, a couple of rules.
A couple of
we could
candidates.
take into consideration. There are a couple of questions, by the way. One from Chin in Australia. They showed much higher incidence of melanoma with a decrease in mortality. Why do you think this is this? It is just that they are such exceptional melanoma hunters?
No, I think it's because they apply these very well organized efforts for many years, because in order to see an impact, an eventual impact in the mortality, you have to apply constantly this effort for many years throughout the country. Not 1, 2, 3, or 4 experts are not enough.
And there is another, in my view, very important reason why in Australia melanoma mortality is decreasing. It's because it's the only country in the world in which they did a serious primary prevention. A serious primary prevention, meaning that everybody knows since childhood that they have to protect by sun exposure. And this is only happening in Australia.
Yeah.
Another question is, do you think that the more widespread use of dermoscopy for estimating the depth, breast or thickness of a melanoma is helpful in reducing overtreatment of melanoma once diagnosed?
That's a fascinating development that might come, not only in reducing overtreatment, I would say in improving the treatment selection. So I do believe that dermoscopy could act as a digital biomarker, but for the moment we don't have the evidence to suggest this. We are working on this. That's fascinating, but not yet here. But in my view, you continue because you are in the same.
Yes, I'm the same line, and it's very nice that we selected the same figure, basically. Let me see if this is working or not. Yes. Okay. So the same paper, and this is the paper from cancer that you showed as well, in which they show that of course, as well as in melanoma, in many other type of cancers like prostate cancer, like what's going on here? Like prostate, thyroid cancer, and so on, there is the same situation. And here I propose another rule, another quote, which is, the more you search, the more you find. And this is always a rule that we can apply for many types of cancers. My PowerPoint doesn't work. This is very interesting.
You use a PowerPoint and not a Keynote?
No, Keynote, of course, Keynote. Keynote. Let me see why. Okay, let me go out and let me go in again. Okay. Okay, desktop. And then let's start again. Okay, so the more you search, the more you find. So, and this is definitely true. And here again, the figure that you showed before, again from this cancer paper, that we can translate from to melanoma. Fast-growing tumors, fast-growing melanomas are those who are killing our patients in a few months. Therefore, nodular melanoma. So they are the fast-growing melanomas. Then we have a great proportion of melanomas which are growing much slower, but still in a few years they are eventually killing our patients, and therefore this is the great number of superficial spreading melanoma. Then very slow-growing melanoma, lentiginous melanoma, including the melanoma napoletano, meaning the slow-growing one, the lazy one. But you didn't speak about the non-progressive type of melanomas. What is this type of lesions? In my view, we have to say that there is a number which is not very small. It's a high number of very difficult lesions. Let's call them errors. Let's call them difficult lesions in which it's a matter of interpretation. So a pathologist can say this is a melanoma, and the second one can say it's a nevus. But if there is not a second pathologist, the diagnosis of melanoma will remain. You know what I mean? So in an epidemiologic perspective, this counts. So in the pot of melanomas, we have to include these kind of difficult lesions. And let me show you a few examples of them. This is a young lady with a ugly-looking lesion on the back. This is what the morphology in dermoscopy. It's, of course, it's an ugly-looking lesion. It was excised, and the first diagnosis was melanoma, and the second histopathologic diagnosis was nevus. Is this what? A melanoma or a nevus? It depends from the final clinical pathologic interpretation that we do, but it's a matter of interpretation. You know what I mean? So these kind of lesions, if they are nevi, they will never progress, but they were called as melanoma. You know what I mean?
Theoretically, here the answer could be given by sequential monitoring.
Exactly. But it's not so easy not to excise a lesion like this, you know? Yes. Second lesion, you know, this is a 57-year-old woman. The lesion is located on the plantar region, and this is a kind of fibrillar lesion. You know that with fibrillar lesions, so when the lines are perpendicular to the skin markings, it's very difficult to understand if the pigmentation at the beginning originally was along the furrows or on the ridges. It's a matter of fact that this lesion was diagnosed initially as a melanoma, and secondly as a nevus with a second opinion. It's a special type of nevus which is called maniac, melanocytic. So yes, so it's basically a melanocytic lesion, a nevus, which is showing spaghettoid spreading, with a lot of spaghettoid spreading of melanocytes, but this is a special type of nevus, which is especially seen on acral sites. And then finally, this is a 7-year-old girl with this lesion that was originally excised with a clinical diagnosis of pyogenic granuloma, of course, but then the first pathologist was signing the report as a melanoma, as an amelanotic melanoma, and on a second opinion, it was reverted to atypical speech tumor, so a nevus basically. So again, where these lesions are belonging to, these are belonging to the group of lesions which are eventually not melanomas, but they are called like that. and therefore we have to consider them. I repeat again the concept you made concerning this paper, which in our view was a paper quite let's say aggressive paper, let's say so, especially concerning this statement. Yeah, look at this: dermatologists and primary care practitioners need to work to raise their threshold to biopsy. A simple approach would be to return to the threshold used in the past, kind of restoration. That is, not to biopsy pigmented lesions with a diameter smaller than that of a pencil eraser, so 6 millimeter. Can you imagine? So we should not excise this melanoma. We should not.
What I wonder.
Yeah, we should not excise this one.
I mean, the author that wrote this, I'm not sure. One of them I know is also clinician, at least one. Would he, if he saw this lesion that you saw now, would he be brave enough to say to the patient, "No, don't excise"?
Probably. The only explanation is that the main concept was made by a non-clinician, because there is no clinician on this earth doing this job who could write something like that. It's impossible in my view. But I mean, the small melanomas are so many. I mean, it's not a rare instance that we are able to catch very, very small melanomas, which are clear-cut melanomas. Okay, nobody knows if these melanomas are actually going to kill our patients, but how can we leave them there? But let me give you an example. This is a special case of a husband and wife who came to our ambulatory at the same date on February 14. That's why we published this couple as St. Valentine's melanoma. They came exactly the same day with two melanomas located exactly at the same location. They love each other very much, in my view. And the husband had a 1.3 millimeter thick melanoma, and the wife an in situ one. They are small lesions, but unfortunately, the lesion on the left gave metastasis, 1.3. It could happen, you know? So the issue of melanoma overdiagnosis does exist. And of course, it's responsible of the actual incidence and mortality trends. Responsible of the melanoma overdiagnosis are two types of lesions, which are the slow-growing melanomas and the morphologically difficult lesions. Do we really need to leave those lesions untreated? If not, who cares about overdiagnosis?
Yeah. So who cares about overdiagnosis is also a candidate?
Candidate, yeah.
Yeah, but it's very similar with the other one, which is so what?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. But by the way, please chat to propose quotes, because I will put them in a Kahoot and we will vote in the end which will be the quote of the week. So I see a question, two questions.
Another solution to reduce overtreatment is probably topical treatment with imiquimod. Yes, this is a good point. Concerning, of course, lentigo maligna. Yeah.
Concerning lentigo maligna, yeah, exactly. And of course, yeah, in case of a difficult lesion, the only just the time and discovering a metastasis will give a definite answer that this is melanoma. That's true. Of course, I don't see anything else. No. Good. So maybe it's time for a short video.
Yes.
Sebastiano.
Yes. Sebastianuccio. Sebastiano.
Is not very happy with the video, but so PIN about what? Somebody's asking about the PIN, but I don't understand.
No, probably it's a technical question.
Okay. So Nisa, tell us.
Nisa,
Yeah.
Nisa.
Okay.
We kept you in silence for the moment.
Yes, you're very
Okay.
silent.
Tell us something. Not your case yet. Not your case yet. Just a
Yeah, no,
comment.
not yet. Okay.
Just a comment if you'd
Yeah.
like.
Maybe what do you think about? For example, you think about a lesion that it's a in situ melanoma and excise it at the beginning with 5 mm margins.
Yeah.
Yeah,
To
it's
excise
also
it,
possible.
you mean to excise it directly with
Yeah,
with 5
directly
millimeter?
with 5 mm margins. For example, you are very sure about it, and it's a melanoma in situ, so you don't want to do it in second time. So you excise it with 5 mm margins. It's also possible, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Of course it is. Yeah, it's a discussion that we are doing in the last years. Of course,
Mhm.
we are all positive to this idea. Obviously, there are some, let's say, arguments against theoretically. Okay, so the video is coming. Nice.
Very nice. Very nice. This is a
One of our
very nice application which is devoted to patients with eczema, right?
Yeah. Fantastic. So,
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Lisa, I think that we
Yeah.
can shift to you now.
Okay.
You'd like to share.
Let me have a look at. I can't see my desktop.
Not
Where's
yet.
my desk-
Yes.
Yeah.
No, not
Yes.
this one.
So
Where's my desktop?
for the
I'm
moment,
sorry, but I can't see my desktop.
yeah. But if you like, just do it again from the beginning. So stop
Yeah.
sharing and share again. So for the moment, I have 3 candidate quotes. Yeah. So guys, please.
3 or more. 3 or more.
3 for the moment I have.
Yeah. So you have
Overdiagnosis exists. So what?
so what? Okay.
That's
Then
the first one. Second is which is the problem, overdiagnosis or overtreatment?
okay.
And the third is the more you search, the more you find.
Exactly. Yes,
Okay.
Nisa, we see our
Yes.
your PowerPoint.
Okay, perfect. Okay, let's go. Actually, this is not my patient. This is a patient from another university hospital in Ankara. And this is their case, and they consulted this case to 2 university hospitals. And it's really very complicated because, this is a spitzoid lesion, and the patient is a 8-year-old girl, and it first occurred in April 2022, 6 months before admission. Here you can see the lesion, and they follow up this case. And this is in February 2023, 5 months later. You see it's a bit growing, and here is the dermatoscopy. Again, a typical spitzoid lesion, pink nodular lesion. And they see the case 1 month later. It's continued to grow, and this is the last one. And we don't have dermatoscopy at this point, and they decided to excise the lesion. And histopathology came as melanoma in their university hospital's pathology department. And breast of thickness was 2.8 millimeter. There was no ulceration, and there was no mitosis and no regression, no microsatellite lesions, no lymphovascular invasion. And they asked the case to our department. Is this a true melanoma or not? And before my pathologist evaluation, we sent the specimen for fish analysis. And here you can see there was dilation in P16 and it was homozygote. So this was highly suspicious for melanoma, actually. And their report was P16 was negative, there was no maturation, and ALK was also positive, and FISH analysis showed P16 homozygote loss. And they also think that this is a melanoma because of these prognostic markers. ALK positivity, loss of P16, and BRAF was negative. Then our pathology also evaluated the lesion. As you see, 3 pathologists from big university hospitals in Ankara evaluated the case, and 2 said that this is a melanoma, and this is our pathologist's opinion. And she also considered this a Spitz tumor because of all those worse prognostic markers. There was no maturation. There was one typical mitosis in the deeper part of the lesion, because in typical Spitz nevus or atypical spitzoid lesions, mitosis generally doesn't exist in the deeper part of the lesion. Here, there was one mitosis in the deeper part, and Ki67 proliferation index was not so high. It was 5%. But with this absence of maturation, superficial erosion and crusting, asymmetry, and ALK positivity, and loss of P16 expression, our pathologist also considered this lesion as a Spitz tumor. Now, what can we do? Is this really a melanoma or not? What do you think, my dear friends? Because the growth rate is not very rapid. Let's go back to the clinic and dermatoscopy. It's a very challenging case.
Yeah.
The growth rate is not very fast, and Ki67 proliferation index was just 5%, and mitosis is very less. It's just 1% per 1 millimeter. So is this a true melanoma or not?
Not in my estimation. No way.
Yeah, we don't think so. I mean, I think that this
Yeah.
this reminds me of a case we saw very recently with these ALK positive spitzoid tumors that they are good proportion of spitzoid tumors. So this is in this kind of tumors, I think that the comment done before by I don't remember who they did. The only evidence for this would be the development of metastasis. I mean, there is no way to give a definite answer. Or you did,
but based on the clinical pathological relation, most probably this is one belonging to the difficult lesion group, in which we never know. But basically, based on the history, based on the age of the patient, based on the clinical morphology, this is not a melanoma.
Yeah, we also think like you, JP, and we know that if we do a sentinel lymph node biopsy, it will be most likely positive, because we know that even in Spitz nevus, it's positive. And the pathologists, oncologists, plastic surgeons, and dermatologists made a consultation all together on Zoom about the surgery of this patient, because plastic surgeons would like to approach this patient as a true melanoma. They want to excise it with 2-centimeter margins, and it's on the face. It's a little girl. Can you consider the scar tissue on the face? Really, it will look like horrible. And as a dermatologist, the 2 university hospital, we recommend them just to excise it with 1-centimeter margins, and don't make total lymph node dissection to this patient. And as you can guess, sentinel lymph node was positive, and there was subcapsular metastasis, which is expected. And now the oncology department is thinking about to start PD-1 inhibitor to the patient. We will see what will happen. But at least the surgery was with 1 centimeter margins, and the cosmetic result is acceptable. Don't you think so?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Anyway,
Yeah.
this
But
is
they're gonna treat with the patient with PD-1 inhibitor. I think this is over treatment. This will be over treatment for the patient.
for
I
sure.
don't think that they will be able to do it because this should be an adjuvant treatment, and for adjuvant there is no indication in this age, only
Yeah.
for. Anyhow, I think my opinion is I would do precisely the same as you. I remember a case recently that we did precisely the same, just a simple excision and only monitoring. Yeah. But these are one of the cases which are really, really tough to diagnose. Really tough to diagnose.
Yeah. This was the case. Thank you.
Thank you, Nisa. Now, this is belonging to these cases in which it's I do always the same kind of a conceptual approach. And the conceptual approach is the following. How can it be possible that a very young girl, was she what, 8, 7, 8, 9?
8, just 8 years old.
So, 8 years old girl is twice so unlucky. First of all, to get one exceptional rare case of a malignancy in children, which is melanoma, which is exceptionally rare. And secondly, a melanoma which is mimicking, which is in the differential diagnosis with a Spitz nevus, so very difficult to diagnose. No way. No way. This, from a probability point of view, is extremely improbable. What is much more probable, it is that this is one of these Spitz nevi which are strongly difficult to be assessed by the pathologists. That's it.
But the
Completely agree with you.
The optimistic thing, Nisa, was that as far as I saw from your comments, the surgeons do not plan to do a complete lymph node dissection. They don't plan to do it.
Yeah, because we made a consultation all together on Zoom, and we said that please do not do total lymph node dissection if the sentinel lymph node is positive, because it's really expected. And they were planning to excise it with 2 centimeter margins, but after our recommendations, they did it with 1 centimeter margin.
Yeah.
Very good, very good. Because you know that in the past, these children underwent these complete lymph node dissections. Can you imagine a child with a complete lymph node dissection in the cervical and all its life? Okay, a comment is that in the realm of skin, overdiagnosis of melanoma is not a clinical problem. We agree fully. And Giuseppe says in situ melanoma can be left in situ, rule of the day. Can be left in situ means not excised.
Not excised. Yeah.
Okay.
If we are sure that they will remain in situ, why not? Yeah.
I add it to the options.
Va bene, va bene. Very good, very good. So the problem of overdiagnosis is basically all here on the table, and we basically all agree here that it's a problem, but not really affecting our daily life, right? We will continue doing the job we are supposed to do.
Yes, I think.
Can I introduce you, Rudy? Rudy? Rudy's here.
So sweet.
So sweet. So cute.
Bene. So,
about familial cancer in this case, was Nisa, did anybody
yeah, mom has a breast cancer. Mom.
Breast. Yeah. Because I saw that it was CDKN2A positive, but this was a somatic mutation or a germline mutation. So it was on the tumor or in the blood, the CDKN2A positivity?
In the tumor.
In the tumor, yeah. Very good.
Wonderful.
Fantastic.
So, Emilio, are we ready for what? So basically, you have to say something, right?
I have to say something about another one of our sponsors that we thank very much, which is by the way related a lot to the discussion we did today. So I like this very nice slide with the therapeutic armamentarium that comes with all clinicians. You see that it starts from magnifying glance, guys. Do you use magnifying glances anymore? Do you?
Yeah, from time to time, from time to time.
By the way, this one has also a blue light. It's like a small wood lamp. It's very, very nice. So starting from a magnifying glance until, of course, the Vectra. But today I want to say 2 words more about one of these devices, the Intel Studio. So the system that can be used to capture polarized and non-polarized clinical images in a single capture in 2 or 3 minutes for the entire body, which is so much related with the discussion we did at the beginning, because we are today at the point that we can do it. We can have this level of documentation in very, very short time, which means that we can offer this procedure at the same time that we needed until yesterday for one patient. Today, we can use the same time for, I don't know, 5 or 4 patients. And this is definitely a game changer for sure. And of course, in addition to this, there is also the possibility for capturing dermatoscopic images at a very high resolution. And of course, the AI support in the assessment. I have to tell you that I'm quite experienced now with the AI support. I use it regularly.
Yeah.
I got used to it, and I have to say that I like it a lot. But my conclusion is, for the moment, is that it's not for inexperienced users, as we thought at the beginning, that this will be mainly meaningful for inexperienced users, because inexperienced users may fall in traps easily. But as an additional tool for an experienced user, an experienced dermoscopist, it's very, very nice. Okay, that's what I wanted to share. And now what?
Now what? Now we have the famous Kahoot session, right?
Oh, no, my friend. Something you forget. Come on, how can you forget about?
You said,
Lisa, please help me.
Jeppy, come on.
What is missing now? What is missing now?
what is missing now?
The time of the episode devoted to one particular person.
Penelope. Penelope.
It's part of the team. By the way, I was going to say that the team consists of 5 people. The team consists of 6 people.
So, but I didn't understand. I cannot imagine that Penelope was contributing already.
Of course, Jeppy. Come on. Of course, yes.
Wow.
And she also sent a nice gift for all 4 of us, a personal for each one of us, for the smiling sweetness. Yeah.
Okay.
So, middle-aged female with numerous nevi, some of them atypical. This one located in the middle of your back catches my dermatoscopic eye. Who am I?
Nivus.
Non-polarized, polarized, non-polarized, polarized, non-polarized, polarized. Should I stop?
Yes, please stop.
Okay, I stop. A clue for you is that it's a tricky one. So maybe now you want to rethink your answer, because Nivus is the most
come on, we cannot rethink. No.
Looks like compound news.
Yeah.
Yes, but I repeat, it's a tricky one.
Okay, understand, but we are limited guys, you know.
So you don't want to change your answer.
We cannot think about anything else.
Yeah. It's a very tricky one.
Wow,
But
that's real tricky.
But with retroscopy, Penelope says that when you know the diagnosis, you can analyze retrospectively. And then we could say that these brown globules are in fact concentric structures, and these vessels are maybe too much for.
But this is a BCC within a nevus, or everything is BCC?
This is
Everything is BCC.
No, cannot imagine. No,
Yeah.
no, no way.
BCC.
No, everything is BCC. No, Penelope. No, Penelope.
Yes,
Penelope, this is breaking my
It's very challenging, Pascal. I will never
breaking my
call
heart.
this as BCC.
special gift.
Uh,
For the free electron. For the free electron. Konstantinos, who is not here today, but I'm sure that he will appreciate it very much. His gift. So 44 female without personal history who presents this asymptomatic fur papulonodular band of fresh color, sometimes reddish, in her arm, isolated, present since the age of 20, so present for 24 years.
Nevolipomatoso.
Nevus lipomatosis superficialis.
Yeah.
Nevus lipomatosis.
Nice, 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 nice.
Yes.
Nevus lipomatosus, first described in 1921 by Hoffman and Zurhele. Did you know it?
Of course, I'm very jealous about them.
Professor Hoffman and Zurhele. Of course you are jealous. Yeah, but these poor guys, they were not able to
Acquire,
their
the name, yeah.
It's a pity. It's a pity. Fantastic. For the philosopher.
Okay.
BCC.
Okay, female, no personal family history, full of post-solar lineages, memories of vacations in Corsica. This is important. Vacations in Corsica.
In Corsica, not in Sardinia, in Corsica.
Sardinia, in Corsica, throughout her childhood, presents with this lesion on the left shoulder of recent onset.
Yeah. It's a very philosophic lesion.
Yeah, I mean, it could be so many things. I mean,
yes. Yes.
Open-minded.
Yes.
Open-minded. Yeah, a little bit of ulceration, a few vessels, some dotted, something looking like a scar or fibrosis, who knows? Okay, do you want to get any guess or let it go?
Well, show us. Of course, melanoma is one option.
Let it go. Disregard post-scratch excoriation. Yeah. Melanoma 0.7 with no ulceration, although clinically, dermatoscopically, there is a clear ulceration. By the way, do you think...
Corsica sign.
Do you think that, which is the story here concerning ulceration? That
Corsica.
That it's very superficial, or that histopathologically the sectioning was not able to catch the ulceration?
In my view, they are able to catch if this is an erosion due to trauma or it's a real ulceration because of the cells which are, let's say, in some way attached to the...
Yeah, not so sure, let me tell you. I have a couple of cases in my mind in which ulceration was clearly present and then it was reported as negative. And then when we told it to the pathology, they did additional sections and they found it. So that's, yeah. And finally, for me, past history of keratoacanthoma discovered during follow-up, this small sternal pigmented lesion, blah, 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 blah. What's your diagnosis? And of course, I mean, I know the answer now, but my diagnosis was BCC, of course.
SEPK.
But my diagnosis was wrong, and also yours is wrong.
Melanoma?
And also yours is wrong. So all our diagnoses are wrong. But wouldn't you think first for a BCC?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
For sure.
Good. So now that you know that it's not a BCC, it's not a melanoma, and it's not a seborrheic keratosis, can you find the answer?
Dermal nevus.
Dermal nevus, yeah, that's the next reasonable thing. Another tricky one, and in fact, this was a dermal nevus looking like a basal cell carcinoma. The second vascular pattern of dermal nevi is found after the coma pattern, consisting of the epsilon branched serpinginous. Wow, I don't know this sign. Do you know the epsilon sign?
No.
No?
Is there a possibility that the first one and this one are mixed? Remember the first one? It looks
Yes,
like
it
a
could
German
be.
news.
It could be
And
possible,
this is
yeah.
this.
And this one a BCC. Yeah. Yes, but then they would not be tricky. So thank you so much, Pascal. Penelope, thank you. Yeah, your guests are always wonderful. You are an important part of the show. And now I think that we are ready for the last thing for today, which is, of course, the Kahoot. So we start the Kahoot with voting for the quote of the day, and then we will continue with the 5 cases quiz.
Okay.
No, don't behave like this, please.
This is the first episode. Some things
Everything is
should
fine.
happen. You know what I mean?
Everything will be okay. Everything is okay. 816767. So, come on, guys. Join.
Join the
Just chin.
game. Join the game. Join the game. Evelina, Heidi, Chin, Adele,
Yeah.
Angie.
Yeah, it's a little bit slow, let's say. Yeah. But I'm sure that it will improve. It has to improve, and it will improve. Positive energy, guys.
Yes, sweetie.
Sweetie.
We will also give a gift to the best nickname in Kahoot.
Name of the season or of the day?
The season.
Yeah. So I guess that as usually we have to start, and the others will appear when I start.
Yes.
I cannot imagine that there is any possibility that only 11 people.
Oh, no way.
Okay, let me try to start, and we will see if things will go as they should. So, season 3, episode 1, 3, 2, 1. So, first we have the poll, quote of the week. Okay, so vote. Overdiagnosis exists, so what? Which is the problem, overdiagnosis or overtreatment? The more you search, the more you find. In situ melanoma can remain in situ.
Go ahead. How many people we have, by the way?
200 something.
Okay, nice.
Oh, 37. Overdiagnosis exists, so what?
What? I see. Overdiagnosis exists, so what?
Okay. Very good. Approved, of course.
Yes, of course.
Very nice. And in the end, we will have a list of quotes. It will be fantastic. I mean,
Sí.
from the Dermoscopy happy hour. Fantastic. Wonderful.
Perfecto.
Ready to play. This is the first case. You see the clinical. You see dermoscopy.
I like it.
True or false? This is simply a seborrheic keratosis. True or false?
Yeah. Nice question. Rudy, what do you think about it? Yeah, so you know that Rudy became my dog. True.
It's
One
true.
of
You see what a nice guy I am?
Yes, very good.
Very good. And let's see what's going on. Cialis.
I love this. This is competing for the best nickname of the season. Cialis 2024. Very good. I will write it down.
Very nice. Case number 2. Granuloma anulare.
Paraceratum.
Ah,
Dermoscopy. This is dermoscopy.
interesting.
Interesting somehow. And let's see now which are the possible answers. It's not a granuloma annulare, let me tell you. The options are nevus, melanoma, seborrheic keratosis,
Yes.
or basal cell carcinoma.
Very good.
Do you think it's an easy one?
Well, your options are very nice.
It's not an easy one, obviously.
No, it's very nice because this could be a seborrheic keratosis or even a Bowen's disease. So between the two could be. But
Only
basal cell
13
carcinoma.
chances. That
Basal cell
was
carcinoma was the most voted. Yeah.
most voted. Probably because of the brownish pigmentation at the periphery.
Because of the
Interesting.
clinical. Because of the clinical. Let me
Also,
tell you.
oh, yeah, for sure. Also because of the clinical, of course. But it was not the answer. So Mickey is now in position number 1. Val and episode 1, also nice, is in position number 3. Which brings us to the third question. The third question is this one. The third lesion is this one. That's the clinical. This is dermoscopy. And the question is, this is severe seborrheic keratosis, true or false?
You know, one of my best, let's say, mantra of the last few years is let's give back full dignity and respect to seborrheic keratosis.
Oh my God.
True. True.
Okay. But can we say something about this seborrheic keratosis? Jeppy, do you want to say something?
Sharp demarcation, milia,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's it. Basically.
I would say this is a 99% seborrheic keratosis, but I would do definitely a biopsy.
Yeah.
No, but this was this was confirmed just with confocal, by the way. But it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so this was a seborrheic keratosis again. So 3 seborrheic keratosis for the moment. Val. Position number 1. Osama and Angry Sebker.
Angry Zep K is also nice. Let me tell you.
Very nice.
Angry Zep K is winning a citation.
Fantastic. That's the fourth case. And here the question is breast low thickness. That's a melanoma. So you have to guess the breast low thickness of this melanoma.
So 0 is contemplated, right? Yeah.
0 is an option.
Yeah.
Yeah, 0 is an option, of course. And let's see what happened. The correct answer is 0.5.
Oh, wow.
That was 0.5. Only 4 people selected 0.5, but all the people in the range that you can see get points.
Yes.
So
many said 0.7.
Many said 0.7. Yes. Okay, which brings Nico in the first place, Eve in the second, and Agri Sebker SK in the third. And this brings us to the last question, which is this one. That's the clinical. This is dermoscopy. And can you guess the question?
Yes, true, false.
You can guess the question. This is simply a seborrheic keratosis. True or false?
Yes.
What do you mean, yes?
Yes. I vote for 120 correct answers.
No. In fact, we have 80 correct answers who say no. This is not simply a seborrheic keratosis. Okay, look at it. It's quite ugly. There is obviously network. So that's a melanoma, of course. And now we see the podium of the first episode of Dermoscopy Happy Hour. Let's see. Third place goes to Osama.
Osama.
Second place goes to Angry Sex.
Andre Secche.
And the first place goes to Val.
Val. Who's Val?
Bravo.
Bravissimo.
Congratulations to all of you. And Val, if you are available, it would be nice if you'd like to show up for a moment. And we congratulate you. In the meanwhile, guys, how did we go for the first episode?
Well, I think we need a little bit of to get into the rhythm, but I enjoyed a lot. What about you?
It was great.
Yes.
Lisa is always sweet. Anyhow,
yes. We missed Costantino, by the way.
Constantinos, and he will be.
Penelope, thank you for your great cases. Sebbi, for your invaluable job in the background.
And of course, we have to thank above all the audience. I mean, this was the first episode. I don't know how they were able to get the news. Everybody, we had again a huge attendance, although it was the first one. Thank you so much.
Valentina Rosca is Val.
Valentina
Rosca.
Okay, where is Valentina?
Grazie, Valentina. Very good job.
Kisses to Brazil.
Okay, guys. So see you next time, next Sunday, 7 p.m. Please don't forget.
Valentina.
Valentina is there. Okay, great.
Valentina, show up. Show your face to the world.
Valentina.
Hi.
Hello, Valentina.
Hi.
Are you
Hi, good
Italian?
evening.
Are you Italian?
No, I'm from Romania.
Wonderful. You have a very Italian name.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Valentina. Where are you in Romania? In Bucharest?
Near Bucharest.
Near Bucharest.
Very
Near
good.
Bucharest. Yeah.
Congratulations, Valentina.
Are you
Thank you.
Are you a resident or already a specialist?
No, I'm a specialist.
Specialist. Very good.
Yes.
You did
Brava.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Bravissima. Ok, ragazzi, I will miss you for 7 days. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, Valentina comes.
Here is Valentina.
Hi. Good
Ciao,
evening.
Valentina.
Congratulations. Guys,
Ragazzi,
Thank you.
enjoy the rest of the evening, of the day.
Sunday.
Enjoy. Un bacione.
Bye.
Do you love me?
Love you.